we've obviously got to carry out reforms to planning in particular, to regulation in particular, to drive the growth that we need. But we also need to make sure that we've got local growth plans, because I think everybody around this table, whichever political party they're in, would say, of course, we want growth. So we do want growth, but it's got to be growth across the whole of the country, not just in some parts of the country. Okay. So those local growth plans
that's
need
what
to be
you want
there
to
in
do,
place.
Prime Minister. How are you going to deliver that? What levers are you pulling in number 10 that you think will help deliver growth when it has, as you've highlighted, and it hasn't been happening for a good decade?
Well, the levers that we're pulling at the moment are obviously the planning levers. You'll have seen that the policy framework was delivered last week. That's hugely important. Talk to any investor about what makes the difference, and they will say planning is one of the key issues. If you don't change that, you're not going to get the growth that you need. Equally with regulation, the clear message to me is not only that there's too much regulation in the United Kingdom, but it's inconsistent because our regulators are pulling in slightly different directions. And that's why we've been writing to the regulators to ensure that we've got the priorities of the regulators in the right place, and with our mayors and devolved authorities drawing up the local growth plans that we need. So they're the levers that we're dealing with at the moment. There are other levers as well. We're doing a lot of work on AI and technology as part of the reform.
Okay, so you've outlined, you've given us the diagnosis, you've given us some of what you think will help solve it. When do you hope that households will see the real growth? Because these are quite big projects that you're talking about that will take some time to deliver. When will households see a difference?
Well, in the plan for change, we set out that we want living standards to go up. We want people to feel better off.
So you want that, so how are you going to do that?
So already in the budget, you will have seen that there's a pay rise for the 3 million who are the lowest paid because of what we've done with the living wage. So already for them, they are feeling the benefit. Those in the public sector where we've been able to settle the disputes that were going on for many years, whether that's in the health service, the police, our armed services, they're already feeling better off because of those pay deals that went through earlier this year. In addition to that, the measures that we put in place will improve living standards. It will take some time, of course it will. One of the biggest mistakes, I think, of the last 14 years was the idea that everything could be fixed by Christmas. It can't. The planning will take time. The change to regulation will take time. We've got a National Wealth Fund which is getting record investment into the country. That'll take time, but already some of the lowest paid are already feeling the benefits of a Labour government through what we did in the budget.
So my final one...
So what are you going to do to dissuade President-elect Trump from imposing tariffs on the UK?
Well, I'm not going to speculate as to what he is going to do. It won't come as any surprise to you that I'm not a fan of tariffs, and therefore we have to make sure that we avoid tariffs. We've got very good trade with the US, as we've got very good trade with other countries around the world. I want to improve on that, and as you will know, I had a meeting with President Trump in September in New York. I've had a number of phone calls. Did you discuss this? Since, and including one yesterday. I won't go into the details of what we discussed, but am I alive to the danger of tariffs? Yes, of course. I'm against tariffs, but I'm not going to speculate as to what the incoming president might do. I don't accept the argument that you've got to either be with the US or be with the EU. That isn't how it works at the moment with our current trade. We do want a closer relationship with the EU on security, on defence, on energy, and yes, on trade. And I've set out how we want to reset on a number of occasions. At the same time, I want to improve our trading relationships with the US. Is that going to be easy? Of course it's not. Do I think we can make progress? Yes, I do. That's among the reasons that I'm making sure we've got a good relationship with the incoming president, and that the relationship between our two countries remains as strong in the future as it has been in the past.